All right, we are live with Kevin Devine on Facebook Live at Pace Studio, and Kevin's going to play a few songs for us this afternoon. Will you tell us about the first one?
Sure. It's called Day Drunk. It's from Instigator, which we put out in October. And it goes like this. Day drunk is what I wanna be when I'm tired of being seen. Day drunk is what I wanna be when I'm tired of being seen. I'm seen in my house, I'm seen in my town, I'm seen, I show up, I'm responsible, I wanna blow it out. Day drunk is what I used to be. No Jimmy Buffett songs, no island imagery. It's old men, dying retirees, bellies on the bar, elbows up with me. I was 25, I was terrified, locking stalls, cleaning lines off a toilet seat, afraid of running out. You are the drill, you are the test, the big inviting nothingness, the parachute, the great escape from comatose to wide awake. You are the drill, you are the test, the big inviting nothingness, the parachute, the great escape from some place to any place. Alone in my house, the threat in my mouth, the lie that looks true and my life's too good. I gotta lay it out, I gotta lay it out. Day drunk is what I wanna be when I'm tired of being free. Day drunk is what I wanna be when I'm tired of being. Day drunk is what I wanna be when I'm tired. Day drunk is what I wanna be when I'm tired of being free. Yay! There's 1,000 people here. It's just the two of them liked it.
We'll have to make up for it. That song sounds like it has a story behind it. It's called Day Drunk.
They all do.
Drunk.
That one has about 10 years of stories behind it. 50, yeah, there are a lot of stories behind that song. Certain lines or certain pictures in the song are specific. There was a bar called Killarney's in Bay Ridge, which is literally now like a well, it's not smoldering anymore, but it's like a hole in the ground. Someone burned it down.
Literally.
Literally. I did not have anything to do with that, but somebody burned it down. I was there a lot in my early 20s, and it was kind of like a typical South Brooklyn old man bar. A lot of like retired MTA employees drinking the rest of their life away, and like me, 24, 25, 23, like embarrassing Goodwill Hunting, chasing bullshit, writing poetry and reading it to like the 70-year-old bartender so she could be like, "What are you doing here, man?" It's it's one way to live. Some of that's in there. Some of the rest is like composites. They're all kind of like that, the songs, composite stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, will you tell us a little bit about the next song that you're going to play?
I will. I have to determine what it's going to be first. I think I'm going to play a song called No History. These are both New York songs, I guess. No History is, I guess it's for lack of a better way of saying it. It's a September 11th song. I was driving home from the doctor in the summer of last year, and I was on the West Side Highway heading back towards South Brooklyn via the Battery Tunnel, and I looked up. It was like 8:30 in the morning, and it was blue sky and kind of perfect. And I used to work on Harrison Street, and my brother worked there for like 18 years. I worked for him for a little while, and I looked up and saw the new Trade Center, and it was like, oh yeah, it was this time of day, and oh, it was kind of like this weather, and then this tumble of uninvited memories and thoughts and connections kind of showed up, and the song was basically there by 3:00 that day. To get more pictures and more kind of connecting. It was written over a year ago, and I've been playing a lot on tour, and obviously since the election and the ramp up to the election, a lot of these songs feel different, and this song kind of feels, it always was kind of an attempt at the end to connect what happened then to what's happening now, which I don't think is very hard to do, but it's gotten easier to do, and that's like horrifying. It's not a good thing, but it's the connections are easier to make, I guess. So that's what this one is more or less about. I'll play it for you. The future was a plane through a skylight over Tribeca at 8:45. My brother at a conference room table watched the future rearrange all our lives. I was sleeping in her bed for the future, 1st and 20th, 5 miles away. Her roommate knocked, he was a relative stranger. Kev, I need you to come out here, okay, okay. The future was me drunk at my desk job. Update the database, reflect the deceased. Cantor Fitzgerald has a digital graveyard. Next to each name I typed a lowercase d. I was frightened by the face of the future. It had the teeth of perpetual war. I called my father, he said, I know I see it. I thought it made sense, I don't anymore. The mosque on my corner, the fire trucks everywhere, the anger, the mourners, no history, it's dead in the air. The future was an ad during football. We are supported by the will of the world. From the floor I felt everything tilting. Watched my brother hold his 10-month-old girl. 15 years later and we're still in the future. The blood and money didn't fix anything. We've grown accustomed to the depths of the danger. This is the future, severe and always happening. The mosque on my corner, the fire trucks everywhere, the anger, the mourners, no history, it's dead in the air. No history, it's dead in the air.
That sounded great. So
Thank you.
you just you're kind of in between tours right now. You were just on tour.
Yeah.
With, why don't you tell us? Pine Grove and
Yeah, we did the first tour. The record came out the 21st of October, and so we did more or less a full U.S. tour with Pine Grove and Pedal were on both, but both excellent bands on Run for Cover, very cool label from Boston, I think they're from. And Julian Baker was on half of it, or maybe more like a third. She did the first 10 or 11 days. So it was, I mean, the tour itself, in all the measurable ways a tour is defined, both like, the business it does, the people that come see it, the engagement and enthusiasm of the crowd, and also like how everyone on the tour gets along, and how everyone's music gets along. In every possible way, it was the best headlining tour we've ever done, and in no small part because, you know, people were excited about our record, and I have a really connected and enthusiastic audience, but also that's the best package we've ever taken out. Like, with no disrespect to any of the bands we've ever taken out prior, it's just there's obviously Pine Grove and Julian are both having real moments right now. There's like a real ascendant kind of moment for both of those acts, and well deserved. Their songs are great, and Pedal is their equal. It's coming for them. It's starting, but so to have Kylie and Julian and Evan and the bands, but it was a very like Church of Song tour. So that was great. And it was also like the first tour since I had my daughter. And so what used to be these like 6-week bricks now kind of became, we went out for 3 weeks, home for 10 days, out for 10 days. But I like came home during the 3-week thing for a day and a half, voted, and took my kid to daycare and all that. But yeah, that tour was stellar, and just kind of ended the 11th or 12th of December.
Oh, wow, yeah. So how long is it? You're heading out on tour again.
We go for the first UK and Europe shows for the record, and that's the 16th of January through the 3rd of February. And Laura Stevenson, who's great, who I've taken on tour. We toured together in 2015 here with Into It Over It. She's awesome. More Church of Song stuff. Like, I have a very particular iteration in my head of like what that means, and all of these people kind of tick the boxes. She's, you know, smart and funny as hell, and good words and killer voice, and so yeah, it'll be her and us. And then I come home for about 7 weeks after that, and we just announced today we're gonna go out. We're gonna open up for a band called Modern Baseball in the U.S. in mid-March to like 3rd week of April. So I kind of know what's happening until, and I know some things after that, but I'm not allowed to say them yet. But I kind of know what's going on for a while.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like a lot of lead up.
Yeah, it's good. It means that there's people that want you to play with them, and people who want to come see the shows, which is much better than the alternative.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, very true. Well, will you tell us about your final song?
Sure. It's called I Was Alive Back Then. It's the last song on the record. It's kind of a time portal opening up song. There's like a lot of different selves hanging out in that song, talking to each other. 8 and 23 and 36 and 20 and points in between, and a lot of my wife was pregnant, and we were in Woodstock, and I had this really sort of very cheesy thought, like she was kind of sleeping. It was like 8 a.m, and I was like, well, we're in Woodstock in this little cabin, and there's a guitar here, and I should try to write a song to say I tried to write a song in Woodstock one time. And then actually like half of this song came out, which was way more fruitful. So maybe there is something to being in a place where millions of good songs have been written or something. But yeah, and then it kind of finished itself when I found the photograph that became the cover of Instigator. This whole second verse of this song was like kind of bloomed from that picture. So I hope I'm talking about them okay. I'm often better at playing them, or hopefully anyway. But
you're good.
That's what's in there for sure. So
awesome. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Thank you. All my lives are coming through, and even though there isn't room, I save seats for myself, invite them in, wish them well, the way I feel and the way I guess I felt. I was 23 and crazy, frightened, overwhelmed, and angry. You said that's not how I see you. You treat yourself unfairly. Don't treat yourself unfairly. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I remember when it was Christmas. We were wrestlers, Bay Ridge Parkway, our apartment. We were fast and best friends. We were just little kids. You were Lenny Dykstra and I was Wally Backman. This was before I got so lonely, with my lovers, with my family. Scared of living, scared of dying, scared of being happy. I couldn't let myself be happy. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I remember when I was 20. Kolinkowski asked me who I thought I'd marry. I answered your name. Years before we would date, years before he'd officiate our wedding. You never know, you're never ready, but all your fears just confetti. Let it blow all around your bedroom when it gets too heavy. Don't let it get too heavy. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. Nobody asked if I was ready when they handed me my Edie. My mother said, son, you can't imagine. You'll have your mind blown, honey. You'll be crazy in love, honey. And I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I remember when I was alive back then. Now I am again. Thank you.
So now would usually be the part where I'll ask you where you're playing live next, but since we've already covered that, I'll just read you a really nice comment that you got on Facebook. This is from Sarah Spawn, who says, "He just seems like the nicest, most endearing man."
There's more in there than that, Sarah, but I feel like there are people who would dispute your your assessment, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's not a bad assessment.
It's a beautiful. No, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And I have to say, we all agree.
Well,
So
Thank you. I'm working on it.
Thank you so much again for being here with us, Kevin. And
It's my pleasure.
we hope that we'll get to see you soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you.
Awesome.